name is Mark McNeil. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of Clement Pappas, and I'm here today to chat to you very briefly about the Oz Principle. More importantly, what is the Oz Principle and why do I think it could be relevant for our business going forward? I have the distinct pleasure of leading this team of 700 individuals from coast to coast, and we do an extraordinary job, and I thank you for everything that you do every day. We want to continue to try and get better as an organization. And one of the ways I feel, and your leadership team feels, that we can enable this is by introducing the Oz Principle to our corporate culture. The Oz Principle is essentially saying individuals should and can take ownership and accountability for their own performance, which at the end of the day will drive corporate results. So today, you're going to hear about essentially 4 major concepts that are part of the Oz Principle that what we feel will set up Clement Pappas for success not only in 2015, 2016, but for an additional 75 years into the future. So the leadership team got together, we looked at our business, we looked at our competition, we looked at the areas for growth. The conclusion, or our case for change, was in many cases the category in which we compete, shelf-stable juices and drinks, continues to be commoditized. We were forced to invest in price in order to maintain what we had. If that trend continues year after year after year, you are in a very tough position from a profitability and growth standpoint. We're going to try and shape our own future by bringing value-added services, innovation, and more margin-enhancing opportunities to our customers. So the Oz Principle is essentially, despite the size of the book, comes down to 4 basic principles that everyone is going to learn more about over the next day, week, and months to come. The first component when it comes to the Oz Principle is focusing on key results. I try and tie everything that we do back to one of our 5 key results. Because if on a daily basis folks are working on things that don't actually have a specific result associated to them, you could end up being a very busy but ineffective organization. So the second concept that is foundational to the Oz Principle is the concept of ownership and accountability. One of the tools that you're going to learn about today or the next couple weeks is a small concept of see it, own it, solve it, and do it. Each one of these has little tricks that you're going to learn so that each of you as individuals can really take ownership and accountability for the jobs that you perform on a daily basis. You know, my favorite component of the Oz Principle is the third component, which is feedback and recognition. Who does not like to receive a pat on the back? Everyone does. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't do it as often as possible. So what this third component does is it talks about how to give and receive feedback, and also when it's appropriate to give recognition. You'll understand a little bit more as the team takes you through the concepts. So Oz likes to emphasize the fact that there's an imaginary line in most conversations, most decisions, most of the way people act. Most successful organizations find a way that every individual tries to stay above the line. So here's my ask of all of you. Embrace this concept. Go into it with an open mind, understanding that each of you as individuals, by taking more ownership and greater accountability for your personal results, can really impact the key results of Clement Pappas.